Good evening, Shabbat Shalom. I am Rabbi Javier Carapan, and I am joined this evening by Leslie Zucker, our musicians and our technical team. Special thanks to our BOW committee for bringing us beyond our walls. Always, if you're interested in being part of that committee, please reach out to the office and we'll get you in touch with them. This evening, we transitioned to a new prayer book. It's not new for this year. It's different from the rest. If you have a book that is blue in your hands, you have the wrong book. So it has to look like this. It has to be golden. Actually, now that I come to think, we're not going to see the blue books on an evening service
for a long time.
For a long time. That's true, because Rosh Hashanah is a month from this Friday, so we have a different prayer book. And then the following Shabbat, we have a different prayer book. And then that's it. So it's about 6 weeks we're going to use this
we
prayer
have
book
a month of
Friday.
Elul, and then we have
Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur,
Yom
yes.
Kippur, and then we have holidays of
That's all right. Now, in the
Sukkot
morning
and Simchat
service,
Torah.
but in the morning service, we will use the
Yes.
regular blue prayer books. This is only for the evening. It's called Mishkan Halev, and it is part of the series of prayer books that we use for the high holidays. And this evening, we're also taking a moment to welcome our new members of the Jewish people. We had a couple of, your talit, yes, there you go, thank you. We had a mikvah, a Beit Din. We actually had 2 in the last month or so, and so you'll get to meet them in just in a few minutes during the service. We'll introduce to them. Our service continues now. Oh, excuse me. On page number 6, we invite you to join us at the top of the page, Elul, an island in the ear. Before we slip too quickly into the season of the soul, let there be a Sabbath of Sabbath for the heart. Before the music of creation's majesty, let there be a silent praise of existence. Before the feast of sanctified words, let there be a poetry of solitude. Before we enter the palaces of prayer, let us find within ourselves a place of calm. Before we revel in the wondrous and sublime, let there be an honest inward gaze. Before the rites and ceremonies of awe, let there be a quiet days, an island of attentiveness. If you're joining us from home and have candles ready to go, we invite you to light them now. And for all of us here on page number 10, we welcome Shabbat together by lighting the candles.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom. Kabbalat Shabbat includes a series of songs beginning with Psalm 97, and on page 15, we will join together in some verses from Psalm 98, Zamru Ladonai.
Zamru l'Adonai b'chinor, b'chinor v'kol zimra, b'chatzotzot v'kol shofar. Alu lifnei hamelech Adonai, irav hayavuno, tever v'yosheva. Adonai kibar, yishpot haaretz, yishpot tevel betzedek, ve'amim ve'reshaim. Irav hayam lo, tevel ve'yosheva, ne'arot imchav yachad, harim yeranenu.
We continue together on page 21 in the middle of the page. Two angels follow me home, chesed and gvura, kindness and judgment, love and discipline may both dwell within me, gentleness and generosity that expand my soul, firmness and self-restraint, the strength to say no. On this day of shalom, may I be shalem, well-balanced and whole. Page 22, we continue welcoming Shabbat with the words of Lecha Dodi. The beauty of this prayer book, we sing the whole page. Not looking for the which stanzas, all of them.
Lecha Dodi, yai, dai, 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 likrat kala, yai, dai, 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 ve'enei Shabbat, nekar elav. Shabbat zachar v'ibur echad, ish
We continue together. Page 29 in the middle of the page. Holy is the twilight, the realm of in-between. And so our sages taught, pray in the moments when light and darkness touch. We're all twilight people, beyond categories and labels. May the sacred in-between of this evening suspend our certainties, soften our judgments, widen our vision. Let it illumine our way to the God who transcends all boundaries and definitions. Blessed are you, God of all, who brings on the twilight.
Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. Yes, we will know that you are one. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shekevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shekevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
We continue together on page 35. You shall love the ones who are close with all your heart, with all your spirit, with all your strength. Remember these words, inscribe them on your heart. Love them when they struggle, when they sadden and disappoint you. Love them when they fail. See the good within them, even when they can't. Look at them and listen, even when it's hard. Be grateful for their guidance, even their reproof, when they save you from yourself. Love them when they give you joy, and love them when they don't. When you lie down, let go of anger. When you rise up at dawn, begin again. Praise them for their deeds at home. Speak to them in public with respect. Bind yourself to the ones you love, with promises kept and vows fulfilled. Open to them the gates of your heart, the doorway of your soul, and let them know you. So shall the ones you cherish feel your love, your presence, and your care. We continue together on page 41. And after this reading, there's going to be mostly music through the Amidah. So we're going to have the slides help you go from page to page. But there's be quite some music, and there's some of the words will be on the screen as well. Wait. No, I have to do a reading first.
Oh, there's a reading first. My bad.
All right, that's all right. Sorry.
It's all right.
We join together at the top of the page. Eternal, watch over my small domain of light and shadow, those few people who share my love and all others upon this earth, that sometimes shakes with thunder and reverberates with lightning. Help us to live with fear and conquer rage, heal the hate that makes us kill and covers the grounds with the Red Sea, that only you can part, so we may all walk through the wilderness to your realm of peace, where all men and women are one, and sing your blessed name.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אליהם, מלכותך ראו בניך,
חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל. of the night,
and eternity honors a day, and eternity honors a day. Yai, nai, nai, yai, nai, nai, yai, nai, 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 yai, nai, nai, yai, nai, 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 yai, nai, nai, yai, nai, nai, yai, nai, 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 yai, nai, nai, yai, nai, 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 nai.
please rise.
Adonai Satai Tifta Ufi Yagir Tehilatecha Adonai Satai Tifta Ufi Yagir Tehilatecha.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'Koneh HaKol, V'Zocher Chasevot V'Imahot, U'Mevig Gula Livnei Bnehem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, B'Zrat Sarah, Ata Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye Metim Ata Rav L'Hoshia, Mori Tata, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye Metim Berachamim Rabim, Somech Nofelim Berofech Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Micha Mocha Bal Gevorot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, B'nei Natal HaChayot Metim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye HaMetim, Ata Kadosh v'Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kadoshim b'chol yom Yahalelucha Selah, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. אתה הוא מלך הדור, לכל השלום.
כי אתה הוא מלך הדור, לכל השלום.
וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. ברוך אתה אדוני, המברך את עמו ישראל. בשלום.
As we gather on this Shabbat, we turn our thoughts to those in need of healing. You may follow a link. Those of you who are joining us virtually, you can also type the names there. For those of us here in person, I invite you to mention names as we go around the sanctuary. We think of all those in need of healing. Page 77 in the middle of the page, we join together in the words of Mi Shabbat. May the one who blessed our ancestors bring blessings of strength, compassion, and healing to those of us who struggle with the oppression of addiction, emotional distress, and mental suffering. Surround them with loving kindness, grace, companionship, and peace. It is now time for our Simcha moment. We invite you to share a Simcha, a joy from this past week. It may include birthday, anniversaries, and good news. If you're online, we invite you to type them in the comments line. For those of you in person, you know the drill. There's an X. You stand there, you tell us who you are and why you're here. And use a few sentences to tell us about your Simcha. And I'm going to monitor those of you online.
I'm Carol, and I'm going to use a few sentences, but it may be longer than he likes. So last Shabbat, I cooked in the kitchen for the goodies that were served at the Oneg, and then I had Erev Shabbat with my family. And Saturday we had the pool Havdalah, and Sunday we had the mikveh tailgate at the mikveh. And we won't mention that I had a graceful fall on my back, but I'm fine.
I missed it. I wasn't there to pick you up.
But having come to Shabbat tonight has been wonderful.
Oh, God. I'm Barb Mendelson, and I had a great week last week. It was my birthday, and I'm continuing to have my birthday. So, and I know Howard's going to say something. I'm going to, not this time? Okay. I know, 29 all over again. So, there we go. Thank you.
Rabbi, there's a birthday we should think about today. It's the 96th birthday of the former First Lady, Rosalind Carter, who said she's going to celebrate today, even though she has the beginning of dementia, with cupcake and ice cream.
Birthday of Rosalind Carter, a previous First Lady, and she's celebrating with a cupcake and ice cream?
That is what she wants today.
96.
So it's been 30 years ago this weekend, I left Anatevka. I left Argentina to never go back. Now, it's been 30 years and I left my home country.
Did you have a broom?
I did not. I had a bag.
That's a deep cut into the lyrics. That's a deep cut.
I had a bag and a lot of, I suppose, dreams going to Israel on that day. So it was fun.
Well, that's
it was a long way to go to Israel. I went from Buenos Aires to Sao Paulo. And I remember when we landed, the part of the lighting on the top of the plane fell off.
Oh.
Inside,
Sure.
It was an old plane. And from there, I went to Toronto. From Toronto, I went to Rome. And from Rome, I finally made it to Tel Aviv. And then I went to Jerusalem. And a week from tomorrow is my birthday. And I celebrated my 25th birthday in Jerusalem.
Well done.
Okay. That all happened 30 years ago.
And you came here, and
I'm still here.
That's our simcha.
And I'm still here. Well, yeah, a lot of other
That's a
places.
different musical.
That's a different musical, exactly. I can go on and on, but I should listen to my own parameters
Yes.
and things. What? What do you have to? Oh, distance. I get to do it my own. I do it my way. It never ends, right?
It really doesn't.
It is a wonderful privilege for me and for many rabbis to welcome new members of the Jewish people. It's the highlight of the year always for us. So we gathered this past Sunday, and a couple of weeks before that, we had a couple of those. And as Carol mentioned, we had a tailgate at the mikvah in the rain. We managed. That's another story. But we all survived, and we're here now to celebrate and to officially welcome them to the Jewish people. So, you know who you are, but here are your names. Please come forward and join me on the bima at this point. If you're able, please stand, and I will invite our newest members of the Jewish people to come in front of the ark with me. Would you help me open the ark for yes? Come a little closer. The line, yes, the line is
You all
for the
can't
bar
see, we
mitzvah
have
parents.
a line,
so
a tape line on the floor for our bar and bat mitzvah students, so they were being very good and standing on the line.
Tiffany, Nick, Miriam, Sheila, and Claudia, you stand before the commanding presence of the Torah, the Jewish people's most cherished treasure. It has led us on the way that guided us ever since we received it. It has been carried when we fled from destruction and during the times of our greatest rejoicing. In just a moment, I will place the Torah scroll in your arms. Take it to your heart as you will recite the Shema, the words on the lips of the Jew until the final moments of life. It is the affirmation that has sustained the Jewish people since our beginnings. Oh God, we come before you to thank you for Claudia, Sheila, Miriam, Nick, and Tiffany, who have formally joined the Jewish people. We are grateful for the inspiration which brought you to us, for the commitment which you demonstrated in your studies, for the fervor with which you accept our covenant. We pray that you continue to find spiritual fulfillment in Jewish worship, intellectual stimulation in study of Torah, and warmth in the embrace of the Jewish community. We pray, too, that you will help all of us to a deeper devotion to our own faith. May we all truly be Jews by choice, Jews who continually choose to commit ourselves to the fulfillment of the covenant. As we stand in front of the ark, we'll ask God's blessing upon our newest members of the Jewish people. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God look kindly upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God bestow favor upon you and give you one of God's most precious gifts, the gift of shalom, of peace. You can close the ark. Turn around. Siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov. Don't go away yet. We have a gift for you. And this gift includes a book. It is our book called Jewish Living, which was the name of our class. So you get the book, you get your certificate, you get a special invitation from the board of the congregation. I hope that if you are not a member, you will join us as members of our congregation. And you also, I believe, are getting your Rosh Hashanah gifts. So as you were here, so you'll get your Rosh Hashanah gifts now that many of you are getting at home. They're being delivered. So Claudia, congratulations, Mazel Tov. Sheila, don't tell me you line up in the way that I bring it. It's just by chance, you see. Let me see. Oh, Tiffany, you were doing it. Now, I'm not going to take, this is not a quiz, but if you've never heard these words before or are familiar with, don't feel bad about it. But really, who has not heard the famous line, Tzedek, tzedek, tirdof, justice, justice shall you pursue. Now you've heard them, so now everybody has heard them. These powerful words are found in this week's Torah portion, Parashat Shoftim, and the word Shoftim literally means judges. We often read these words as a confirmation that the administration of justice, separated from religion, is what the Torah envisioned. Yet that might not be the case when we put these words in their context. The risk of clinging to a few words of the Torah to justify our own preconceived notions of social justice is a risk that we're all exposed to. So this evening, I invite you to be open to hearing these famous words in the Torah in their context for just a few minutes. If we read just a few lines further down, we would discover an extraordinary contrast in topics. The Torah teaches, quote, you shall appoint judges who will not pervert justice. Justice, justice you shall pursue. You shall not plant for yourselves an Asherah near the altar of Adonai your God. That you heard it right. We're going from justice to an Asherah, which is some kind of a tree that they planted to worship at. Nobody quite knows what it is. So, as you can see, without any warning, the Torah transitions from a vision of a just and equitable society to a prohibition of idolatry. In his commentary to the book of Devarim, Deuteronomy, Rabbi Shlomo Riskin points out that given that these are two distinct areas of concern, ritual and moral laws, the Asherah on the one hand and the Tzedek, the justice on the other, he questions why group them so closely together without any kind of segue between them. That's a lost cause. The Torah never tells us the things the way that we would like them to be, just the way they are. Until I read his commentary, I really never occurred to me that there could be a connection between justice and idolatry. One shouldn't be surprised that justice and idolatry appear next to each other in a way that suggests a connection. Indeed, the Talmud already teaches, quote, Resh Lakish said, anyone who appoints an unworthy judge is considered like someone who plants an Asherah tree in Israel. It's in the Talmud. Must be true, right? It's tradition. There you go, another one. Yes. The Torah is trying to convey the idea that there is a connection between lack of justice and idolatry. Let's think about it. Wouldn't you agree that the perversion of justice is a form of idolatry? It seems that when a person or a group of people see themselves above or beyond the reach of justice, they set themselves up as idols to be worshipped. The cult of personality is a manifestation of idolatry and a danger to democracy everywhere. A strong society requires an independent and trusted judiciary. As I have been following the news recently, there's no other way to go. You kind of have it in front of you all the time. The idea of people in power undermining the work of justice makes me think precisely about this week's Torah portion. What comes to mind first is this judicial overhaul promoted by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his allies in the state of Israel. It is clearly an affront to the rule of law. It is also evidence of corruption, because the changes proposed by the Prime Minister would benefit him personally and shield him from the consequences of the investigations and indictments already laid against Netanyahu. They are trying to bend justice for the sake of one person, which continues a perversion of justice, and that is then a form of idolatry. Secondly, you might have already guessed where we're going with this. When we talk about the pursuit of justice, my mind turns to the many indictments of a former US president. Here in America, justice is also under attack. These days, a large segment of our population questions the rule of law and favors the cult of personality. Unfortunately, in Israel and in America, the pursuit of justice is set aside in favor of worshiping their leader, a behavior akin to idolatry. Blind allegiance to a mere mortal has been at the heart of Judaism's goal of a just and equitable society for all. The ancient pharaohs of Egypt demanded personal allegiance and considered themselves gods. Among the peoples of the ancient Near East, Judaism's innovation was the idea that justice flows only from God, and no human can be set himself or herself about to pursuit of justice above that pursuit of justice. In contrast to the cult of personality, the Torah teaches that no person can be God. Thus, no one can be above the law of God. Rabbi Shlomo Riskin adds, quote, "The real sin of idolatry lies in the perversion of justice perpetrated by the idolaters." In Hebrew, idolatry is called avodah zarah, literally a strange or foreign worship. Avodah zarah includes more things than worshiping idols per se. One of the most significant contributions of Judaism to the world is the idea that God cares about human life, our humanity, how we treat each other, and how much compassion, justice, and care we give to others. God cares for justice being served because God cares for all of us. When we neglect the pursuit of justice, we inevitably put our trust in human agents, which is idolatrous. The Etz Chaim commentary teaches, quote, "The well-being of a society depends neither on the goodwill of the ruler nor the ascendance of the most capable in a competitive environment, but on the certainty that the law will treat all alike and protect the most vulnerable against the most powerful," end quote. In other words, the well-being of a society depends on our willingness not only to pursue justice, especially when justice seems to be under attack, but in really putting justice at the center. No matter how powerful they may seem today, nothing good can come from worshiping political leaders. Justice alone brings about life, and anything that does not pursue life is a form of avodah zarah, of idolatry. Judaism promotes justice, and in doing so, aspires to build a culture of life based on justice and equanimity for all. Have a Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and Mazel Tov again to our wonderful group. As our musicians come back to here to the Bima, we invite you to return to your prayer books, to your Siddur, on page 78. If you're able, please stand and join us for Aleinu L'Shabeach.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם דרכנו בהם, וגואלנו בכל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד.
Our thoughts turn now to loved ones whom death has taken from us in recent pasts, and those who died in disease in years past. Our hearts open as well to the wider circle of loss in our community and wherever grief touches the human family. Zichronam livracha, may the memories be for a blessing now and always. As a congregation, we are observing the Shloshim period for Jerome Walters, grandfather of Caleb Walters, Orrin Nelson Mitchell, father of Gloria Pittler, and Foster Padway, grandfather of Bryn Dukowski Nolman. And on this Shabbat, we remember the following yortzites of members of our congregation: Herb Adler, Maurice Leo Balanoff, Victoria Bellotti, Laura Bram, Sylvia Bromberg, Florine F. Capper, Alex Crane, Maury Firestone, Yocheved Flicker, Lillian Gelfand, Jack Gersh, Hyman Golden, Rosalie Goldstein, Joyce Goodman, Rose Hellman, Sam Hipsch, Lily Hirsch Jacobson, Ida Kaplan, Helen Lesky, Jacob Lowenstein, Louis Lowenstein, Welberine J. Markham, Minnie Moses, Jacob Osman, Florine Frankel Peck, Herbert Pefney, Elaine Pfeffer, Jay Pollock, Seal Leifer Prager, Jerry Rottenberg, Sharon Haith Weinstein. Zichronam livracha, may the memories be for a blessing now as always. Page 86, we rise together for Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish. This version has one extra line at the bottom. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון ובימיכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו, לאלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דא אמירם ועלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל
Some thank yous and a few announcements. Thank you to Leslie, Susie, Larry, Joel, and Warren for beautiful music.
And I believe Scott Franklin acted as a greeter, and I believe I saw Marilyn helping out with books.
Thank you
you
both of
all.
you.
And I happen to know that we have some treats from the Beth Torah Bakers in addition to cake.
Wonderful.
Just saying.
And I hear we're going to have cake 3 weeks in a row.
Cake 3 weeks in a row. I mean, if you don't come
different
for the
reasons.
praying, come for the cake.
Our Shabbat celebrations continue tomorrow morning with Sichat Shabbat at 9 a.m. in the library, followed by Shabbat services here in the sanctuary at 10:30.
And our next community service for spiritual renewal is Sunday, August 27th at 2 p.m. at Village Shalom. They do request that you RSVP if you plan to attend. There's a QR code for that right there. It's on the website. It's in the slides.
We are thrilled to share that Sonia Warshavsky of Big Sonia renown will be joining us for services and Enosh and Dessert Onik on September 1st.
September is looking pretty darn full, my friends. I know. This, I have to tell you, I am so happy about this picture. No matter how I feel when I see it, it makes me happy. We're celebrating Barb Mendelson, our Mensch of the Month, on September 8th. And then it's September 15th and Erev Rosh Hashanah, and then Shabbat Shuvah, and then Erev Sukkot, and then Erev Simchat Torah.
You forgot Yom Kippur is in the middle there too, right?
But it's not on a Shabbat.
Oh, it's not the Shabbat.
Those are all on Shabbat.
Oh my gosh.
And Yom Kippur is in there in the middle.
And there's so much more going on. We encourage you to participate in your CBT community activities. Your goodie bags that you got your Rosh Hashanah gifts have all kinds of information in there. please open it, read it, memorize it.
It took
And
2
come.
slides for September, and that's still not everything.
Immediately after, so the evening of, the end of the service is slightly different. We'll do a song, then we do a reading, and then we hear the shofar, and after that, we can go into the ulam for kiddush and a celebratory oneg. Did I mention there's cake? But before that, we join together. If you're able, please stand and join us in Olam Chesed Ibaneh. The shofar curves upward. Its name means beauty. Its essence is ascent. Sound of the ram's horn. Lift us from lethargy, shatter despair. Beauty beckons, tomorrow's door is open, and we will be better than we were. Tekiyah. Shvarim Truah. Tekiyah. Yasher Koach. Shabbat Shalom. Mazel Tov.
Take care of each other out there. We'll meet you in the Ulam for Kiddush and Hamotzi. No cake until we Kiddush and Hamotzi.